Yeah, so I first got into MMOs back in high school. I had just moved to another state. Didn't know anybody, but the first people I met at high school were gamers, and they introduced me to Dark Age Camelot, which was a MMO for basically exclusively PvP, open world PvP. Uh, Got me hooked. Kind of enjoyed that. I wasn't super hardcore to start. Then sophomore year in high school, my mom passed away, and gaming kind of became my escape. And then that's when I got more hardcore into gaming. Played Dark Age Camelot for a long time. Started to die after a while, like most games do. And then the group of guys I played with, were looking for something new. WoW had been around for a while, so we decided to swap over to World of Warcraft. At that time, this was when Wrath of the Lich King had just come out, so we got to experience Old War, Trials of the Champion, and then what really got me super into WoW was when we finally got into ICC, Ice Crown Citadel. We started off as a 10-man guild, cleared the content pretty easily, and we're wanting to try for harder, so we found another 10-man guild on the server and joined up to do 25-man heroic ICC. And we were eventually able to full clear, do an achievement run, and get the, I don't even remember what the mount was called, Ice Crown, Iceborne, whatever the 25-man achievement mount was, and that was favorite mount for the longest time. And then I got my little hippogriff. Then I joined the military, so ended up taking like a 10-year break from WoW after doing that. And what brought me back was when COVID kicked off. So everybody's stuck at home looking for something to do. Well, at least I was. I had seen a buddy on my BNet playing WoW for a little while, so I jumped back into that, and brings us to where we are now. Been playing nonstop since COVID outbreak started. My favorite spot in WoW would probably have to be Great Vault. I mean, deep down, it's probably everybody's favorite spot. It's what you're waiting to get on for every Tuesday after reset, to get the gear that you farmed all week, see what you can add, improve, or the inevitable disappointment that comes so many times throughout a season. I think probably the Great Vault's what's kept me around so long, just always trying for that one more piece of gear that's an upgrade that you can get to improve your character. So I've probably been playing WoW on and off for, I don't know, five years. I don't know. However long Ice Crown or Wrath of Lich King was, I came back at the very end of BFA, and have been steady since then. What's kept me around is just always wanting to improve. I started off originally on Lich King, pushing for 25-man heroic raids. Did a little PvP back then. There weren't really dungeons, so that wasn't really a thing. It was just PvP and raid. Now since I came back at BFA. Originally at the beginning of BFA, I didn't really raid. I just only did Mythic Plus. I was farming corruption gear and what was it? Azerite trait armor. I don't even remember what it was called, but the trait armor that you needed for your special bonuses. Eventually, I ended up joining Wipeaholics. It was then Iron Knights. They were strictly just an AOTC guild, which was fine for me at the time. I had never really done any of the new raid content, so starting off, that was a good challenge, but eventually that became boring, and I moved on. I went to a CE Mythic guild for a while. I loved it. I love the challenge. Progressing on a boss for friggin' 200 wipes to eventually get the kill, it feels so much more rewarding than an AOTC heroic boss where it's like 10 attempts and you're done. If that, constantly wiping at 30%, like 50 wipes at 30%, and then something just kind of clicks for the group, and you get to the next phase and it's like another 50 or 100 wipes at like 60 to 70%, and then something clicks for everybody again as a whole, and then it's like 50 more for the last phase, and then home stretch, you get the loot. Woohoo, everybody cheers, excited. And then you're off around the corner to the next hellacious grind of a boss. Or if it's like Sanctum, you get like 2 free bosses and then back to the grind. So I prefer alliance races. For just basically, I think they all look better. As far as like loyalty to for the Horde or Alliance, I don't care. I wasn't around in vanilla. I didn't experience the playthrough back then when it was you're one or the other, pick one, and if you're not, fuck you. So I mean, just for me, it's just the looks and transmogs. I hate Tauren, I hate Orc, but I love how dwarves and humans look. Yeah, outside of that, I have no preference on if I'm playing one or the other. If I had to pick a horde race, I mean, basically everything's orc that can be, because they kind of remind me of kobolds. Whenever you make them like dark skin, like my hunter. My warrior in Dark Age of Camelot was a kobold. A little bit, he was a little beast. I don't really care about like amounts or achievements or anything like that. I really just play for gear and pushing content. But I mean, I guess if I had to pick something, what is it? Glory of the Ice Crown Citadel, the 25-man heroic achievement run, or more recently would probably be Warlord title from Rated Battlegrounds. Just because I wanted to have the Warlord title, I pushed for that season 1. It took me almost the entire season to get it. But it was actually a lot of fun. I enjoy Rated Battlegrounds minus the, hey, you're a BM hunter? Camp the flag. Good luck. Bring back like a Mythic Plus version of Islands. I feel like that would be awesome. Like 3-man groups. Like you could have so much diversity. Like maybe run like a pally tank and 2 DPS. Or you could do 1 tank, 1 DPS, 1 healer. I feel like there could be a lot of different combinations with islands, kind of like how it was when they were current. You don't have to have a full 5-man group. If you only have a couple of people, you can just jump into islands and go push the content. I don't know. I feel like short, quick runs like that would be pretty cool if they could figure out a way to do it like Mythic Plus style to increase the difficulty, maybe the rewards that go along with it, something for smaller groups of people. That would be cool too. Make ranked PvP islands. I don't know how they would do it, but that would be pretty cool too. Yeah, it was just kind of annoying the verse each other. It was like you had to run 2 DPS and a tank, and if you didn't, you lost. Yeah, they were so cool. Let's say the difference between classic and retail. I didn't realize playing back then versus playing now how big of a difference it is. Like going from retail to try out classic during this last little break whenever they had to push for Wrath of the Lich King classic coming back, how slow it was. It like there's no buttons to press. The buttons you do have, you can't constantly press. It's like you hit a button, you wait. Okay, something's off cooldown, you hit that, you wait. Something's off cooldown. It just seems so slow and monotonous now, seeing it versus retail now, where it's just like constantly spamming something. You're always hitting something, you're always moving, you're always having to do a mechanic or dodge a mechanic, blast DPS, have to keep a certain rotation. A couple things might come off cooldown at the same time. You have to know what you're pressing. It's not just like, yep, hit that one, let's go, woo! I mean, I tried classic when it came out. It was just, I don't like the grind. I hate questing. The fact that it takes 20 hours to get from level 70 to 80 just isn't appealing to me. To then just grind basic heroic dungeons over and over for terrible gear and only do raid once a week, maybe twice. I don't know. It just seems super slow, very unrewarding and monotonous to me. I didn't like it, so I'm exclusively retail at this point. Feels like there's much more to do. It's easier to play alts. Overall, more enjoyable to me. I like the pace of it. I don't care about lore at all. I just want to play the game to play the game. If I want a movie, I'll go watch a movie or read a book if I want a story. I don't know. I just want to play the game to play the game. But as far as characters that stick out, I would probably have to say Sylvanas is my bitch. If her abilities were in a class, that would be what I would play. What she does seems so awesome to me. I'd be like the coolest freaking class in the game. It would be the only thing I'd play. Yeah, I got that bow. I got that quiver. She my hoe. And What is it? What's the city she burned down? To Rinamir? No, that's her sister or some shit. Teldrassil, yeah. All those people don't know how to swim or jump out of a tree in the water. I don't know. I don't think that's on her. If you want to follow my Twitch, it's WarSatVNA. I don't stream that often, and when I do, it's nothing great. But if you just want to come around and watch me do a bunch of bullshit, come on. Got 5 followers. Woo!
Goodbye. May our paths cross again. I will never forget your kindness. May the wind be at your back.